I gave people all the stuff they really needed. Social security checks, utility bills, TV guide.
I want a TV guidance counselor. TV guidance counselor. Staying up to watch all night, and everything's gonna be alright with my TV guidance counselor.
Hey everybody, welcome to TV Guidance Counselor. I am Ken Reed, as always, your TV Guidance Counselor, and this is the show where each and every week we talk about classic television with an interesting person using a TV guide magazine from my personal collection as the inspiration for our conversation. And this week, I disappointed my guest from Go. He picked an issue that had a Pokemon on the cover because he's much younger than me, and I couldn't find it. So I got him the issue after that, which is a very good issue, though. And we had a good chat. So apologize to him in advance, but it worked out. My guest is the host behind the Could Be the Move podcast, comedian Bobby Dolan. Bobby's a good dude. Enjoyed talking to him. You will enjoy listening to me talk to him. And if you are checking out my show for the first time because you're a fan of Bobby's show, Could Be the Move, good move. You'll enjoy this show. So I'll put links to his show in the show description here. And if you can't find it for some reason, you can send me an email, tvguidancecounselor@gmail.com or ken@icanread.com, patreon.com/tvguidancecounselor, you know, all the things. Anyway, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of TV Guidance Counselor with my guest, Bobby Dolan.
TV is my friend, and it has been always there for me in time of need.
Live via satellite from the west side of Los Angeles. I'm not doing the hand gesture, everybody. It's Bobby Dolan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, Ken.
You're very welcome. Thanks for doing this. I don't know. I felt the need to say exactly what side of Los Angeles. I think because you told me.
I mean, yeah, it's so sprawled out, and there's a big difference between the east side and west side. So, yeah, I'm a west sider. Moved to the west side when I first came out to LA, and I've kind of been on the west side ever since. So, shout out to all my west.
You make the choice, and then you're there.
Pretty much. That's exactly what happens.
One of my, you know how we all develop these little, life hack coping skills for things when they're growing up? And one of mine was if I ever got lost driving, I knew if I just keep going east that eventually hit water, right? And then I knew where I was. And when I was out on the West Coast, I hadn't readjusted to that. And I'm like, no, west is not the water. And it was really messed with my head. So I got lost very often.
End up in Palm Springs and stuff. You're like, oh no, I've gone too far. Yeah.
What are these dinosaurs? But you grew up in Maryland, right? You're saying, so did you move out there to do comedy and stuff?
No, so I moved out for internship. So I went to Tyson University, grew up in Maryland, and then I got an internship with TaylorMade Golf. I was big into golf when I was in high school and college. And then, so I had an internship there for a little bit. It's great company, great time, great people. And then I moved to Los Angeles just because I kind of wanted to get involved in the startup world. And also I was doing comedy in San Diego. So I was like, I can do a little bit of both. And then I've just been up here for the last 10 years, which is crazy. It just flies by, man.
Oh yeah. No, it's not. It's nice. You know, were you near Baltimore or what part of Maryland?
I was in Montgomery County, kind of outside of DC. Okay. And then went to college in Tyson, which is just outside of Baltimore. So yeah.
Okay. Cause I'm a big John Waters guy. Evan, actually, is he? Oh yeah, there he is. He's back there behind me.
Oh, nice. All right.
So that's the sum total knowledge of my Baltimore and Maryland. And then when I was in punk bands, we played various bizarre places down in Baltimore and Maryland. But that was pretty much one thing.
I've probably been to a couple of those. I used to kind of go to a lot of different shows in Baltimore, and some of these venues we'd pop into. It's this is just, I mean, you want to talk about bare bones, and it was cool. Some of the best shows I've ever seen. I can't even remember the name of any of them, to be honest with you.
One was a pool hall, and it didn't even have a stage, and it was us in this band, the Casualties, who are a ridiculous caricature of a punk rock band, although they wouldn't say that. But just ridiculous looking, and they're just playing next to this pool table. It was silly.
Yeah, and come to think of it, there's a band I saw, Butler Trio, which they're kind of big now. I'm actually seeing them in a couple days down in OC, Costa Mesa, but like there wasn't a stage. They were just kind of like there. And I'm like, I feel like they're kind of somewhat of a bigger name, and I was kind of surprised that like they weren't doing the stage thing. I was like, this is kind of badass, but yeah, it was a good time.
And then you have to be like, no, we asked for that. It's on purpose. It's like,
yeah,
nah,
exactly,
okay,
right.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
for sure.
Because as we all know, doing stand up when there's no stage, that's miserable.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, that's a grind. Very difficult.
Really, because then it's really just a microphone in your hand that's separating you from just some loud guy in the crowd.
Yeah, right. That's a very intimate experience, to say the least.
So you picked an issue here from, and this is a Halloween week, which is always good, October 23rd or 29th, 1999. I forget, did you pick a different issue and this was the closest I had?
You know what? I think so. Yeah, I think I was
Okay.
going in there and I was just kind of like checking out a bunch of them. I didn't want to pick a sports one because I feel like that's too on the nose for me.
Right.
And then I saw like a Pokemon one and I was like,
Yes.
oh, that one works. Because then I saw one. It was like, I think it was like 4 issues of like the Pokemon one. And it was like one had Bulbasaur, one had like Squirtle, and one had like, I think Pikachu. So it had like the
Yep.
big names in there. And then there was one, I was like, I've never seen this Pokemon before. And I was like, why did Bro get like the cover of the TV guide? So I thought that was pretty funny. And then, yeah, this one got sent over and I opened it up and nostalgia hit. And yeah, this is great.
That was the week after this one, and this happens to me all the time where I'll be like, God damn it. And I'll go like searching through my boxes and I'll have like the week before they wanted and the week after they wanted. And for some reason, that one week in the middle, I'm like, where the hell did it go? I haven't done it yet. Where the hell is it? And so, yeah, that's why I went with this one. But it'd be funny if there was like I have no idea how Pokemon works, by the way. I'm going to sound ridiculously old, but it's basically a card game, right? So you're
Yeah, pretty much. And then video game, it's kind of how I got into it. But yeah, I mean, anime show and stuff.
and the video game is kind of like they fight. Is it like Street Fighter?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, pretty much. I was kind of into it because of the cards. Like, it was kind of a cool collectible. And yeah, and those cards were, that was all I was thinking about at that age anyways.
I mean, I think that's all kids. I'm a little older than you. Were you like a sports card collector too, being a sports fan?
A little bit. I mean, not the biggest, but I definitely have my fair share of cards that are maybe worth some cash, but yeah,
'Cause,
not a whole lot though.
As a big comic nerd and like the non-sports trading cards, I 100% bought them all the time as a kid, like the Marvel Universe and X-Men ones. And what a complete waste of money that is. In that I'm like, I'm not reading it. It's like a little teeny card. Like at least the Pokemon thing, like it's a game, and so I'm just like, but I bought them and I figured out that I'm just a sucker for a blind box. If you're like $5, here's an envelope, don't know what's in it, I'll be like, give it to me.
That is so funny because I'm the exact same way. I was actually at a baseball game like 2 days ago, and they had baseball cards there, and I was staring at them. I was like, don't do it, Bobby. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I didn't, which was strange for me because usually I always buy a pack or whatever.
Because you're like, it could be anything in here.
Could be an auto. And I heard some kid in front of me saying the same thing. He's like, oh, if I get 4 packs, I'll definitely get an auto. And I was like, man, I really want to rip some packs right now. But yeah.
Ripping packs? Is that the...
Ripping packs. I heard somebody say that one time, and I was like, that's like the coolest term for just like opening up cards. So ripping
Just
packs.
rip some packs, whatever.
What the kids are saying nowadays.
I remember, because it's sort of like here in Massachusetts, I always joke that I know a lot of people that use scratch tickets as health insurance. But it's basically like a gateway drug into people buying scratch tickets. And maybe a year ago, there was Boston has a lot of scheming idiots who are like, dude, I fucking figured this shit out. No, seriously. Like, because there's always like weird, like, yeah, if they're a cop and you ask them what their name is and they don't say officer, like they have to give you $1,000, it'll be like some complete bullshit thing. But one of those kind of guys was like, nah, dude, I fucking did the math. If you buy like a whole roll of scratch offs, like you have to win like $1 million. So like it'll cost you like $8,000, but like, and it doesn't work that way. So all these guys had spent like thousands of dollars to buy like a whole roll. And I was like, no, that's not how it works.
It's like, oh, it didn't work? Oh.
Man, I was sure that would have worked.
Sounded foolproof
Yeah.
anyways.
So I don't know if his 4 packs approach would have worked in a similar way, but that guy had a plan.
Right.
But
Exactly.
So this on the episode, on the cover is a show called Grown Ups, which is not remembered by anyone. And as someone who recently turned 45, this cover really depressed me because it says the hot shows once and again. Providence and Judging Amy are proving it's hip to be gasp over 30.
That's so funny.
Because I was
I mean,
19 when this
yeah.
came out, and I probably would have seen that over 30 and been like, wow, that's old.
It's strange how that like worked. I think maybe it was like Jay-Z. Didn't he say like 40 is the new 30 and I'm so hot? I think that made it like that they just like change everyone's perspective on age. Maybe I don't know because I remember back then like 30-ish. There was like one episode of Friends one time where like Joey was turning 30. He's acting like his life's over, and then you get to 30, you're like, I don't know, man. I feel like I feel kind of young and
Right. I feel 27 maybe.
Yeah, right, and youthful. But then I guess maybe all the kids are like, no, you're old, you're washed. So I don't know, man. But yeah, that's pretty. The gasp is great.
It's
too.
like gasp. And so the cover is this show, Grown Ups. Oh, I'm sorry, Once and Again, which has Sela Ward, who I have had a crush on for like 40 years, and I'm only 45. She was pretty much exclusively a TV actress. They tried to break her into movies a few times for whatever weird reason didn't work because she's like stunningly beautiful, funny, good actress. Whatever reason didn't take. And this guy who isn't Jason Bateman. Look at that man's face. That's not Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was. So, do you know who this guy is?
Yes, it's Billy Campbell. And Billy Campbell is someone no one ever remembers. And he looks very much like Jason Bateman in this particular photo. But he was a soap actor. He was in a show called Crime Story. And his claim to fame was he starred in the film The Rocketeer.
Okay.
Which was a huge bomb after, in the wake of Batman. And so that was going to be his like big break. He's the Rocketeer, and it didn't.
The Rocketeer guy didn't happen.
Yeah. So
that's funny because I thought it was. I mean, I knew it wasn't, but the more I looked at it, I was like, wait, is that like an older version of Charlie Conway from Mighty Ducks? And then I realized it wasn't. So then you saying Bateman, I'm like, oh, maybe it feels like a mix between the both of them. But
yeah, it's like a Rorschach test. Like, who do you see, Bateman? Or the kid from Mighty Ducks. What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And then on the back, there's a Benson and Hedges ad because there's always cigarette ads in these things. And I guess because it's Halloween, they went like super goth with this thing. And it's all like green hues. And this woman looks deceased. And it's like gothic fonts. And it's all like, it's smoother place to be.
Yeah, it's got that alien vibe. And you know what's funny is that's like one of the first notes I wrote down. I wrote down cig ads, and I'm like, I miss cigarette ads. I mean, like, I know obviously they're bad for you, like, but like this is kind of cool. And then the color too. It's like, I mean, who bust out color like this nowadays?
Yeah,
like,
it's a cool looking ad.
Great.
And this is obviously pre CG and AI. So like, this was at least a day long photo shoot. They had a crew, like.
Oh yeah.
Some money.
Plus to get that smoke right and stuff. I guess maybe that was, I don't know, some sort of After Effect. Who knows? But yeah. It's got me craving a cig, which I guess good job for them.
Because then there's an ad immediately in the front cover for another cigarette brand I'd never heard of before I started really digging into TV Guide. And it sounds like a joke, but it's called Basic. And it says...
Yeah, I'd never heard of this brand, or even the one before that.
Why do basic folks love the great outdoors? Basic. It's like...
Yeah, that's a nice gritty cig.
Camping and smoking. I just want to go camp and smoke. That's my weekend.
Yeah, it's got two styles. You got the one trendy cig ad, and you got the gritty cig ad. So that was nice to see. Just good to see cigarettes.
Yeah, they've covered all of humanity here. The best, and their tagline is not a great tagline. The best things in life are basic, which is empirically not true.
Is that true? I don't know. I don't think that's correct.
No.
But hey, we'll take your word for it. Maybe, I don't know.
Which model car do you want? Basic. It's the best one. Really? Because it's not
basic. I'll take the basic life too.
Yeah,
which
that's it.
Doesn't sound too bad, but
just basic. Someone should be something called the Ace of Basic, and I don't know what that would be.
Hey,
but it's something
nice little
good.
cover band or something.
Yeah. Then we get a thing in here in Margaret Collin, and it's like uncomfortably sexy. This photo.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good point. Yeah. That's I kind of skimmed over this. I saw the Minute Maid ad right next to it, and I was like, I missed this color. There's so much cool color. But yeah, the fact that this didn't catch my eye, goodness gracious, she looks hot.
Yeah, and she's like, the whole ad is she's a mom, and she was in 3 Men and a Baby and Independence Day. But yeah, she's wearing like a very skimpy black negligee, and it's just like an ideal mother. It's like, this is this is unnecessary here.
Yeah, she's hot. Good for her.
She's a mother now.
This is Independence Day. Was she like the wife of the...
I don't know who she was in it. I can't imagine she had a huge part. she's in that Now and Again show. So they're like, oh, look at her. And this is interesting. She's 42 and her lead, the male lead, romantic lead in the show she's in is 32, which is generally not how it goes. These things.
Good for Margaret.
The Minute Maid ad did remind me, I might be older than you for this, and I don't know if you had this, but did you guys have that concentrated frozen orange juice that you had to mix?
Yeah, my mom wasn't a fan of that. I'd always want to buy it. She's like, no, we're not getting this.
Garbage.
But I've had it a couple times. Yeah, it's very bad. I remember one time, like, she's like, oh, we can get it. And then I was like, oh, this is awful. Like,
did you ever have Five Alive?
I don't think so, no.
So Five Alive was like the first version of that frozen. For people who don't know, it like comes in like a Coke can sort of, and it's just like frozen slush concentrated orange juice. But Five Alive, which I think started after World War II, basically this guy in Florida was like, hey, what do you guys do with all the citrus garbage? And they're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, the peels and seeds and all that crap. But you just throw it out. And they're like, yeah. He's like, can I have it? And they were like, yeah. So he basically boiled it and concentrated citrus flavor and sold this thing as Five Alive because it's got 5 different citrus fruits in it, and massive hit. But it's literally just like boiled citrus garbage.
Wow, yeah, that's not the best sales pitch for it. And I guess, it kind of sounds like it would suck too.
Yeah, it's the citrus equivalent of hot dogs.
Well, I kind of like hot dogs, so maybe I got to give it a go.
I remember liking it as a kid, but yeah, having to mix that thing was a nightmare. Then we get, a Hershey ad for classic caramels. It's not very Halloween-y yet, and this is the Halloween week. And then we get a great ad for American Movie Classics because it's Monster Week, and it's big monsters. They're doing a movie marathon of Roger Corman movies. Right up my alley. I'm a big Halloween guy.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, okay, you are good because I touch on some Halloween's shows, programs, movies a little later, which is good. Or at least it's on my list anyways. But also, like, going back to the color, man, maybe I'm just a sucker for this, but like right to the left of it, like that's a cool like green color. Just like, if you're flipping through the TV guide and you see that, like maybe you're gonna stop and give it a read, which I miss, man.
This is very vibrant and actually basic. The colors are like very graphic. It's like boom. It's very magazine like I do miss obviously there's like the tactile thing about a physical magazine, but the layout and the quality of the colors is different than you get on like a website. So it's I never really stop and think about it too much, but now that you point that out, it's pretty obvious.
I love it
that there's some cool stuff in there. Cheers and Jeers, which we'll get to later. We got the Now and Again, Tylenol PM. There's a Halloween ad here. It's a Nickelodeon VHS tape Halloween ad, but the shows that they're advertising are the least spooky things I've ever seen. There's Little Bear, Four Spirited Stories, and Blue's Clues Halloween tape.
Yeah, right? I don't know what this was all about. And I saw the Rugrats there, and I was like, yeah, this isn't spooky at all.
No,
I mean,
that's
Tommy Pickles is over there having a good time, and I guess they got the bat in the top left. I'm not sure how spooky that's
like
get,
that's not what it's a bear dressed as a goblin and a bat, and Blue's Clues isn't even pretending that they're doing a Halloween episode.
Yeah, I guess they got the cobweb. I mean, scale of like 0 to this is like, I mean, this might be negative. This is actually like cheerful.
It certainly is. Yeah, it's like, hey, this is so not scary. It's cheerful. And then the Zippo ad. This shocked me for a moment here because it's an ad for Zippo lighters, which is just a weird thing to advertise, but it made me very aware that this issue is from 1999. We're in end of October 99, so we're 2 months away from the year 2000. And they're making a big deal out of it. So they have the Zippo Millennium series. Each one comes in a souvenir click-clack tin. So collect them all. While you're at it, visit our website, Zippo.com, and play the Z2K trivia game for a chance to win a free Millennium Edition Zippo, the official lighter of the new millennium.
I mean, I wish I got my hands on this way back when. This thing is probably so expensive. If you have your hands on one of these bad boys, I know people like collect Zippos.
I bet they're not. Do you think, I'll look now. I'm going to look on eBay for Millennium Zippo. And you're thinking expensive is your guess.
I would think so. Maybe if it's like in good condition. like I feel like there's a lot of people like right around that like late 1990 and early 2000s that like just go crazy for like that like nostalgia look and feel. I mean, maybe not. If it's cheap, I might buy one right now. To be honest,
Are
with
people nostalgic for like the millennium yet? Though I mean, maybe they are. Okay.
I guess maybe like late 90s is what I'm kind of
Yeah, like year
getting at.
2000. Okay, so some of these have gone for, there's like 10 different ones. So there's like a have a nice day smiley face one. That one goes for the least. They sell for about 30. But there's a moon landing one that sells for around $100. The Keeper of the Flame Millennium Edition that sells for like 75. So yeah, they're in there.
Well, I clearly don't know the market because I would have taken the over on all those different prices. So now I got to go to eBay. I'm going to buy this now. So there we go. This is great. I'm going to look badass with my Millennium Zippo.
They're like, oh man, is that the official zip lighter of the new Millennium? You're like, you goddamn right it is.
Like, I like the photo too, like the two peeps. It's like, I mean, what were they going for here? Just like, oh, let's just go for like the cool indie hip crew.
It's very, so the girl's got dreads. She's in the front. She's looking miserable. The dude behind her looks like a bike messenger. He's got like a backwards flat cap on, gauged ears, nose ring, but he's smirking. Like he's like, you know what it looks like? Really weird ventriloquist.
Yeah, this almost seems like this feels grungy to me, but I guess maybe they're trying to bring that back. But yeah, that caught my eye a little bit.
That seems like an old guy who worked for the ad agency. It's like, this is what kids look like now. And they're like, well, that was about 6 years ago. Oh, no, it's the same thing.
Like, no, put him in.
Yeah, no one knows. So then we get the most, I would call it's a double page spread for Dayquil and Nyquil. And it's like the happiest looking ad about needing to take Dayquil and Nyquil. It's like this dude.
That's really funny.
This dude in bed.
Yeah, I mean, that's really funny because I was all about the colors. And the more, I didn't ever realize how that guy's cheesing on the right. That guy is so happy to be ripping. Like, how much Nyquil did he have to be cheesing that much?
He's like, my God, I'm so happy that I have a miserable cold and needed to be knocked out with drugs.
Yeah, right. He's having a ball. And the girl on the left, too, she's ready to take on the day.
This is great. It's fantastic. Then there's an article in here about Simon Rex. And I don't know if you remember Simon Rex, but he was an MTV VJ who had a scandal because it came out later that he had a career in gay pornography.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I knew him from like, MTV, and then like he had like a music career or something like that.
Yeah. And so,
but that,
he had these things, and it came out, a couple of years into his time on MTV. I think he got fired and then had a comeback. But so he's discussing it here. He's only 25, which seems so young to me. And he's on this new WB series called Jack and Jill. But he goes, it was like a Playboy video. There's just a girl sitting on a car touching herself. He says, only this was the guy version.
Only this is the guy version. Oh my gosh, what a line that is. That's hilarious.
He hesitates. Quote, I had to touch myself.
Oh my gosh.
Afterward, Rex said he felt cheesy, but I never felt sexual. He was paid $650, the exact amount of his monthly rent.
Huh. That seems kind of cheap for that, but if you had to pay rent, I mean, yeah.
What a way to describe that. It's like a Playboy video with a girl sitting on a car touching herself, only it's a guy version.
And the hesitate. I wonder how long that hesitation was. You know what I mean? Like they had to put it in there.
That's
15 seconds, like a deep pause.
What an awkward article. Like that's, geez.
I like how it's like it's him in the ocean too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. What are we doing here? Yeah.
Only the guy version. That's what I'm going to use for everything. Like anything, I'll just describe it as the guy version of a thing that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, right. People are like, wait, what does it even mean?
Like you go on a diet. This is like a guy version.
A guy version of the diet. It's like, wow, this guy's not very comfortable with his masculinity, I guess.
Then we have the world's first year 2000 golden dollar, a giant quarter-pound proof, not real gold. Those, I imagine, are not going for a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But the
I don't think we need to look that one up.
Official gold coin of the new millennium. There's a WCW Halloween pay-per-view of Halloween Havoc that they're advertising. Were you a wrestling guy?
I was. And Sting, who's one of my guys, I loved wrestling. I was really big into it. And until Goldberg lost his first match, I think that's when it really died down for me. And I loved wrestling. Yeah, I was a big fan.
They feature Goldberg in here looking he bigger than I remember the dude looking. He looks friggin' terrifying.
Yeah, he's right down there.
yeah.
Yeah, he's I mean, he was obviously a menace in the ring, one of my guys.
100% natural. I'm sure he just ate a lot of chicken breast and rice. That's 100% natural body, nothing else.
Exactly, like right around this time with baseball, the guys were drinking milk and hitting bombs.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what a good glass of milk will do.
Look at
for you.
Popeye's arms. I mean, how do you think those got that way?
Yeah, right. Eating healthy.
Was it Sammy Sosa? Was he the guy that was the?
Sammy Sosa, Bonds. I mean, all those guys. McGuire, literally, everyone during that time. Which I mean, shoot, looking back on it. I mean, if everyone was doing it, might as well, right?
I guess, yeah.
I guess.
Did they get stripped of their home run records?
No, so they're still there, but I mean, Bonds didn't make the Hall of Fame. All the writers kind of turned against him, and even now, Alex Rodriguez, he won't get in. I mean, these are two of the best baseball players ever, and yeah, so it was making baseball entertaining. You can say what you want, but people were tuning in and watching ball. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, even that trickled down to me, and I'm like, oh wow, these guys are having a home. Who's going to hit the most this year? And I'm like, there's no way that I would normally even notice that. So let's dive in here. Saturday night, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. All right, so Saturday night, let's see. Let's look at my notes here. So this was one of the first sports games I jumped on. I tried not to do sports every single time, but I was a big sports fan as a kid. And one of my favorite athletes growing up, if you would have asked me before this issue even popped up on my computer screen here, Peter Warrick was one of my favorite athletes of all time, and he went to Florida State, and he was on this team. So from 8 to 10 o'clock, I will be watching Florida State at Clemson on ESPN.
That's basketball?
And that's football.
Okay.
So football game, I think it was the 5th week, and this is the year that Florida State went undefeated. They won the national championship. They had my guy Peter Warrick, Chris Wenke, who was 27 at the time, which that's one of those strange situations where he went and played baseball, and then he's like, this isn't working out. I'm going to play some college football. So he's 27, playing with pretty much children
and
out
he
there.
was in college at 27.
In college, and he won the Heisman Trophy at, I think, 28.
Okay.
So that's a little trivia for you on that one. And they won the national championship. And how about this, too? I totally forgot about this. I was probably watching this game as a kid, to be honest with you, because the game-winning field goal was kicked by Sebastian Janikowski, who's a legendary kicker. And tight game. And another fun fact about this game is this was the first father-son matchup head coach situation. So Bobby Bowden faced off against Tommy Bowden, which father-son, kind of cool. Head coaches going at it. And this really caught my eye. And I was looking at that team, that 1999 Florida State team, and I was like, oh yeah, Peter Warrick was my guy. So
rival?
I got all fired up seeing that one.
Rival father and son college football coaches. That has to be the biggest asshole off in the history of the world, right? Because it's not only gotta make my dad proud, but also want to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, plus these programs too, because it's Florida State and Clemson, rivals and stuff, and man, yeah, that probably got some people tuned in, and so I was pretty pumped up to see that one, and tight game, came down to a field goal. But this would have always happened with me. So this is Saturday night, 8 to 10. And if I'm being really honest with myself, I kind of went back to me being, at the time, was I 11, 12 years old? I was like, okay, if I was 11 or 12, what would I watch? And to be honest with you, I probably would have watched this game for maybe the first hour and then realized, because it was low scoring, that Peter Warrick wasn't doing a whole lot. And I would have started playing Mario Kart with my boys or something like that.
Fair enough. It's Saturday night,
Yeah, and then maybe tune it on and be like, oh, wait a second, let's see the end of the game, and then maybe watch that. But I got all pumped up seeing that one. That was a very nostalgic dip that I did there, so that was kind of cool.
They're really pushing sports this night because the World Series is also on that night. And then there's also a Tyson fight against Orlin Norris, and they're advertising it as the fight after the game. So it's like boxing after the World Series. So they have Tyson with a baseball bat, wearing a baseball uniform for some reason, which looking at it, I'm like, are they going to fight with bats? Because I'd watch that.
Yeah, and you know what? I did some research on that one because I was like, I don't remember this fight. I guess Tyson, I think at the end of the second round, hit him late, so the bell rung, and then Tyson just hit him with a hook, and he got knocked down, and he got knocked 2 points, and then I guess the dude hurt his knee on the way down. So they axed the fight. That was it. So I thought that was.
I think this was his second or third fight back after he got out of jail for being a rapist.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And
So
I've told this story before, but his first fight back, I don't know if you remember, his opponent was a guy named Hurricane Peter McNeely.
no.
And Hurricane Peter McNeely was from Boston, and he famously called the press. And he was clearly hired to get his ass kicked. Like he did not have a chance in this fight. But there's and I highly recommend looking this footage up. But he has a press conference, and he reads a poem he wrote about how he's gonna quote unquote wrap Tyson in his vicious cocoon.
Oh my god!
And then everyone's laughing at him, obviously. And he goes, "This is a quote. Yeah, keep laughing. If you think I can't go up against a guy like this, you got a big dump in your pants." And
oh my god,
amazing. And so at this time, I was working at a place called the Hilltop Steakhouse north of Boston, and he came in, and I had to wait on him. And every time he said anything, all I heard was "dump in your pants," and it was really hard not to laugh.
that is so funny. Like I need to bring back that line. Was it you got a big dump in your pants?
Get a big dump in your pants. If you don't think I could take on a guy like him who had a big dump in your pants, and it's like
that's so funny. That could be the move right there. Speaking of like, could be the move and different moves breaking down. Like I think I need to bring that back. So, feel free. Anyone listening out there, feel free to jump on the pod, and I'm probably going to talk about it on the next episode. Of what a line that is. You got a big dump in your pants.
Ridiculous. And you got to look the footage up because it's even better. And then he lost that fight. I think it was literally like a 7-second fight.
No.
It was bad. So they're advertising that. There's also the show Early Edition, which I bring up on the show fairly often. And it was one of the last, there's always a Jesus show like every decade. Mm-hmm. This was one of the better ones. And the premise of this show was every day God gave this guy tomorrow's newspaper. So he had to go through and figure out like what he could do to help people, that like stuff that was going to happen in the next day. And it was a weird premise, and it got bizarre. And this show is Gary accidentally gets McBeal fired twice. Then he tries to make it up to him by rescuing him from a mysterious man who is after some incriminating photographs McBeal made at a mall. Like, wow. What kind of incriminating photographs are you making at a mall? Not taking, making photographs at a mall. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing commercials about that show. I never tuned in, but I mean, hey, the premise kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I always joke that if it was like some dude from here, he'd just be like, all right, what's the number? All right, I'm a millionaire. Yeah. Be like, but this school is going to catch on fire. I don't care. Where's the number?
Give me those Lotto numbers. Yeah, that's so funny.
You gave me the paper. You didn't say what I had to do.
Yeah.
Sunday, what are you doing?
Sunday. All right, so I told myself, I was like, you know what, Bobby? We're going to watch sports on Saturday. We're not going to watch sports on Sunday. But I was like, the World Series game, too. I got to tune in.
Fair.
So 8 o'clock till 10, I'll be watching the World Series. I, as a kid, used to absolutely fucking hate the Yankees. I hated them with all my heart. They would always beat the Orioles, which is my team. And, they were just always so good. So I never really liked teams like that. They played the Braves. They ended up losing 7-2. One of my favorite pitchers was on the Braves. His name was Kevin Millwood, and he kind of got shelled a little bit. And this was on the way. The Yankees end up winning the series. They sweep 4-0, back-to-back World Series champs. But I probably would have tuned in, and I would have been very frustrated and angry to see that. And also, I forgot that the World Series, so this was broadcasted by NBC, which was the last year that they broadcasted it because Fox took over the next year. I totally forgot that NBC used to have baseball.
Yeah, Fox was really trying to become a legit network, even up to 99. They were like really fighting to get stuff like the Emmys and the football games and they were really, really trying. Eventually they did manage it, but it was like people were like, this is never going to go off the big three networks. They're insane.
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense because like Bob Costas and stuff. But I mean, shoot, I guess that was probably one of the only World Series I remember that like wasn't on Fox. But they've done a good job with the World Series. I think Fox they do a solid job.
I always watch the whenever I remember, I watch the Little League World Series every year.
Oh, that's always fun.
You get those Japanese teams that for whatever reason I find that incredibly entertaining, and I don't really like baseball.
Yeah, they did you watch the one where out here El Segundo, the California team?
Oh, yeah.
They won. That's like a couple minutes from where I live, and I actually went to it was some sort of like holiday parade or something like that, and then the team was like on one of the floats, and they were all pumped up, and I was like, yeah, man, the Little League World Series.
For whatever reason, you're like, yeah, like adults, you're like, oh, whatever. These kids, you're like, yeah, you go for it, kids.
Yeah, right. And they were just so happy to be there and stuff, and yeah, you could tell that was that's always an entertaining tournament to watch, and it's just like watching those kids sometimes. Like I feel bad, like if they make a bad error, I'm like, oh man, at that age, I was crying in the
Never
car.
living it
Oh,
down.
man. Oh my gosh.
Not worth the Tommy John surgery you're going to have at age 17.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
And interestingly, you mentioned the Braves, and the TV connection with the Atlanta Braves is they are the reason TBS exists.
Yeah.
There was a thing called superstations. So you could be a regional UHF station and get an exclusive contract to air one of the local sports teams, and then your UHF station would be rebroadcast in other markets across the U.S., which was unusual. There was only like 5 superstations, and it was all because they had certain sports teams. So I believe WGN had the Cubs, I want to say. The Braves were with TBS, and then TV 38 here in Boston had the hockey, the Bruins, and our TV LVI 56 at the Celtics. So those two went to like a bunch of different states, but that like made them players in various states instead of just a local UHF station.
Yeah, I remember the Braves were always on, and like that just went away. Like I remember going to TBS. If I wanted to watch baseball, I would just like tune in. My buddy was a big Braves fan because he could just do that. And
I feel like not knowing a ton about the 2 baseball leagues, I feel like they sort of centralized power in the new millennium, where they were like, we're going to control the games more, because it really was like an unconnected network of like, we rented them here and this place can air this and whatever, it was very sort of regional.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I think they were like, we're controlling this from a central office from now on.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Which is no fun. Baywatch Hawaii is on. Not the best of the Baywatch, but is always pretty amusing and ridiculous. This particular Baywatch episode is Sean's Baywatch team helps the Coast Guard in a daring rescue to save 6 kayakers in the waters off the Hawaiian coast. This was the first thing Jason Momoa did.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Baywatch Hawaii.
That's cool.
It's his first thing. I met him once. Wow, that man is a man.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
I think one of my buddies got like a picture with him. One of my buddies like a pretty big guy, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's just like
Nice guy. Massive man.
Large.
Then you passed up watching the Fox Family made-for-TV sequel to Casper. Casper Meets Wendy.
Yeah, my dad was a big fan of Casper. I think at the end of the day, like I just got to watch ball here, but I think my sister was probably watching it upstairs, and I was probably watching the game downstairs with my pops. And I think maybe during some lull time, I think my dad might have flipped over to Casper just to,
because we got Hilary Duff as Wendy the Witch.
Oh, okay.
Casper, who's who at his core is a dead boy. He's a dead boy and a witch
very
girl.
sad.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, definitely for sure.
Yeah. And this has Terry Garr. What kids wouldn't love this cast? Kathy Moriarty, Shelley Duvall, Terry Garr, and George Hamilton. Kids love them. These 7. I mean, they're all. I enjoy all those actors, but wow, those are 70s actors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kids love George Hamilton. There were. So that's Sunday. How about Monday?
Monday. So I told myself, no sports, no more sports, man. And also, too, like the fact that the Yankees go up 2-0, I'm like, this series has got to be over.
October's kind of a weird sports time because there's a lot of overlap unusually, right? Because you have like baseball ending, football started, basketball and hockey are going or just starting.
Yeah, so hockey's going, and I mean, there was some basketball here, and it kept saying like exhibition, and I was like, why are they doing that? And I was like, oh, that's preseason, but it's like no one really airs preseason basketball so much anymore. But yeah, definitely interesting time, and usually, well, I guess football is always king, but I got the World Series and stuff. But yeah, if the Yankees are up too, my heart's already close to being broken.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? At 8 o'clock, I'm gonna watch Seventh Heaven because that's what I used to watch as a kid with my sister. And come to think of it, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm not sure if I even liked the show. I think my mom liked that I was watching it, and it was just like kind of something to do. And then I was like, well, I started thinking about it more. I'm like, well, also I had a huge crush on Jessica Biel. Like that was my girl. Yeah, right. I was like, well, I guess maybe that's the reason why I was watching it. And I was thinking about that show. I think I've seen some like TikToks and some like YouTube videos about how that show just like did not age well.
No.
Just like stuff that they talk about. And I was just obviously just so irrelevant. I did not, I wasn't taking all that in at the time, and it didn't age well. And they had some great '90s cuts though.
Oh, yeah.
Haircuts and all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, this was like the golden age of 90s teen shows was sort of 99 because you have Jennifer Love Hewitt, who had been on Party of Five. I think she was one of the kids' girlfriends, gets her own series, Time of Your Life, which I think is a spinoff of Party of Five. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe her character like moved away and now is in New York in the big city, and they're really launching her in this big thing. And this is also the year she's in I know what she did last summer, weirdly, which has just come out again. So this is like everything's about Jennifer Love Hewitt. She had just done Can't Hardly Wait. This is going to be her big series, and it lasted about 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah, she was hot for a while, huh? That's right. That also that movie coming out again. Wait, is she in it? The newest one?
Yeah. Yeah.
She is. Oh man, I gotta see that one.
She dated Jamie Kennedy for a while.
Did not know
that. And she used to sell merch for him at stand-up shows sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good girlfriend. Good for her.
Not what he deserved. This is what's really interesting. So they go, debut, Jennifer Love Hewitt's popular Party of Five character. So it is a spinoff. Sarah Marin goes to New York City in search of her biological father and finds more than she expected in this series spinoff. In the opener, Sarah's initial lead on her dad takes her to a dance instructor played by RuPaul, who steers her towards a more likely and rather high-profile candidate, Rosie O'Donnell, who plays the man's receptionist. Along the way, Sarah is befriended by a starving actress played by Jennifer Garner, a waitress, a budding manager, and a somewhat mysterious musician.
Wow. Holy star power, man. You just dropped all sorts of people with clout right there. Goodness gracious.
Got RuPaul, Rosie O'Donnell, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, how did this show fail? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was terrible. I never watched Party of Five. Maybe it also just, there's that thing where a character's popular in a show because a little goes a long way. And when you make the whole show about them, people are like, I hate this character.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Very few managed to make it, but so that's the debut that evening. Then we have the season premiere of Ally McBeal, which again, a show that was massive hit, huge, and nobody talks about it now.
Yeah, I never watched that show. I do remember it just being like everywhere and like
massive.
I feel like it was so popular, but for some reason I just never watched that one.
Well, I mean, if you're 11, I don't think you're gonna really be into a show about
What was it about again? There was
Callista Flockhart.
Yeah, what was it about?
She's like a lawyer, and I think it's in Boston.
Oh, that's right.
But she's like dating,
okay.
But that was the show that is single-handedly revived the career of Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was like his third career death, and they cast him on that show, and they were like, whoa, Robert Downey Jr. And then it like directly led into him doing the Marvel stuff.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Completely saved him. That's Monday. Tuesday night, what are you doing?
Tuesday, let's see here. Let's see. From 8 to 9. All right, so... So I told myself, right? I was like, I'm not doing baseball, but I told myself I'm gonna watch the first hour. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch the first hour, 8 to 9, World Series Game 3, and this is what happens in this game. So the Braves jump out to an early lead, 5-1. Andy Pettit let up 5 runs. I'm pumped. I'm happy. It's the 4th inning. So right around 9 o'clock, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna switch channels. Right? The Braves got this one in the bag. I'm gonna watch the first 30 minutes of Halloween. I'm going to get scared. And then at 9:30, I'm going to watch A Night at the Roxbury. So that's
scarier than
my
Halloween.
Plan for
Chris Kattan, terrifying.
I used to love that movie as a kid. So I'm hoping that's going to cheer me up before I go to sleep because I was always the king of like wanting to watch scary movies as a kid and then like getting into it and being like, I don't know if I want to do this now.
Have you revisited them as an adult and been okay with it? Or?
I have, yeah, and I'm a fan. Like, I'm not like the biggest horror movie guy, but I do like a nice, kind of cheesy, kind of corny horror movie.
No, they can be horny.
My girlfriend hates them. Horny, if it's a horny horror movie, I'm in, dude. I'm absolutely in. Yeah, a little Freudian slip on that. It's got to be horny. It's got to be horror. And yeah, my girlfriend, like, she can't even do horror at all.
Oh,
so
she's
like
super squeamish, so you don't even
yeah, and it's like kind of more fun to watch it with like somebody else. But like I remember one time I was watching I mean it's not like the slasher like horrors like the classics that I kind of dig, but I remember I was watching The Shining one time. I was like home alone, my roommate was out of town, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get high and watch The Shining.
Ooh,
and
big couple mistakes there.
Big mistake. I was like, nope. I turned it off. I felt like I was 10 again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch something funny. I'm so scared
right now. Run up the stairs before the lights go out. Yeah, that's not a fun watch. That movie, even at the best of times.
Do not recommend at all doing that. But yeah, that's my night. Hopefully, Night at the Roxbury cheers me up because I used to always. I mean, that movie still to this day. Like I'll watch it. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty dumb, but that.
Well, you love Richard Grieco. I mean, everyone knows how much you love Richard Grieco.
Oh, yeah, right? Legend. The Will Ferrell, too. Like, I was always such a big fan of Will Ferrell, even, like, way back then. And, yeah, great flick.
There's the debut of a new show on the Sci-Fi Channel called The Sentinel, and it's a cop show. I imagine it's about a cop with some kind of superpower. So it's a full-page ad, and it says, "This cop can frisk you from 10 paces." So I'm like, why does he have stretch? And then it says 5 heightened senses, 4 back-to-back episodes, 1 solid night of action. But I'm like, how would heightened senses allow him to frisk you from 10 paces?
Yeah, that's really creepy.
That's
man.
not a good ad. Like, even if, like, it's just not a good ad.
Yeah, right? Even the police are in there. They're like, you guys got to chill with this.
What, does he have really long arms? I don't understand.
I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeesh. The Halloween episode of Buffy is on that night. The Halloween episode of That 70s Show is on that night, which is a show that was funny and I enjoyed at the time, but now is filled with rapists. Whenever I see it, I'm like, yeah, it kind of ruins the legacy of that thing.
Fact.
But there's this, they're calling it a shockumentary, and it's Attack of the 50-Foot Monster Mania. So I sometimes rewatch these every year to this day. This was AMC would do these sort of clip shows. Elvira would host them, and it would be like, you know, here's a bunch of clips from all these monster movies. And it's super fun, and it's just like an hour of like just fun, dumb stuff. And I'm totally watching that at 9.
I love that. It sounds like they got to bring that back. That sounds very appealing.
Yeah, I mean, they do, like, Shudder will do, like, the 100 scariest moments or, like, the top 20 scariest movies. Like, Eli Roth had, like, a 6-part show, you know, like a Talking Heads and Clips kind of show. But
you've seen that, yeah.
They take it a little serious sometimes, and like these Monster Mania ones were just like fun. Like a child could watch it, and it's just fun. You know, it's like giant ants and Godzilla and that kind of stuff. Where you're like, all right, yeah,
oh, the best.
It's the good stuff.
The best.
That's Tuesday. Wednesday night. What are you doing?
Yeah, Wednesday I'm kind of breaking it up again. So at 8 o'clock to 8:30, it's the ending of Rudy, movie I love. You know, I'm such a sucker for a sports movie where the underdog goes out and does their thing. You got your boy Sean Astin. You got Vince Vaughn, right?
Oh, I forgot
Sean
he's
Favreau.
in that,
yeah, right. He plays the bad guy, a bit of an asshole in that one. Love that movie. So that ends. I'm all pumped up. And then, so I was looking at 9 to 10, and I mean, yeah, I just got done watching Rudy. At 9 to 10, I've never seen this movie, but I remember seeing previews of it, and it sounds like something I would do as a kid because, you know, I'd see a preview. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll give it a go. But from 9 to 10, I'm going to try Meet Joe Black.
Oh.
I've never seen that movie, but I do remember the previews, and I'm gonna try to give that a go. I would do that as a kid. I feel like I'd watch movies that were more sophisticated than, like, you know, my intelligent level, and then I'd watch them, and I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. But then I'd tell people, like, oh, yeah, I saw Meet Joe Black and have
because you wanted to have that sophistication. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I would do that stuff all the time. I did notice, like, it was pay-per-view, but, like, I think I saw, like, Shakespeare in Love. Yep. I loved to, like, watch those movies as a kid, like an Oscar-winning movie. just to say that I watched them, even though like I'm like I don't know what the fuck.
Well, the other day I was watching Meet Joe Black. I wonder if in the movie, so there's a movie guide in the back of every TV guide, and I'm wondering if they put the pay-per-view ones in there. I'm curious what they gave Meet Joe Black. Let's see.
They gave it a 2-star, I think.
Let's see. Meet Joe Black, 2 stars. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, and then
it says
not
plotting remake of Death Takes a Holiday, starring Brad Pitt as the Grim Reaper, who allows a tycoon played by Anthony Hopkins a few extra days of life. 2 stars.
Yeah,
that's rough.
2 stars, and then I saw Shakespeare in Love. They gave it 4 stars. But I still never seen Shakespeare in Love, but I heard that movie's good.
So this is just to give you a barometer of what a 2-star movie is to TV Guide.
Mm-hmm.
The first Major League, 2 stars. But then
Wow, I love the movie.
the third Major League, Back to the Minors, 2 stars.
I've never seen Back to the Minors. Honestly, like I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's really, really bad. It's really
bad?
bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out in
I've seen movies like
1998.
I got to give it a go. Who's in it? Is like the main guys in?
No, I don't think it's anyone. Scott Bakula's in it. Second sequel in which he plays a washed-up pitcher is offered the chance to. Oh, okay. So Scott Bakula coaches the team. It's one of those.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
I need to
watch
hear
that movie tonight.
everything you think about that because it's oof. But I like the first Major League. I even thought Major League 2 was fun. But you know they're considering that a 2-star movie, and in their view, a 1-star movie would be Mannequin.
Okay, never saw that one.
Ooh, it's about a guy who falls in love with a mannequin who comes alive, played by she's from Sex and the City, not Sarah Jessica Parker, the other one. I should just look at the listing. What is it? Kim Cattrall. And
maybe
yeah,
I have seen that. Maybe I've seen a little bit of it. This is really
not great. But then they give Mr. Mom 2 stars, and Mr. Mom's a great movie. But Naked Gun 33 and a third, that's a 3-star movie. So, you know, it's kind of telling you where where they go here.
Not a whole lot of consistency, I guess.
But then Masseuse 3, the direct-to-video romantic erotic thriller, gets 0 stars.
Oh, the old 0 star. Watch out.
So, Major League Back to the Minors is twice as good as Masseuse 3.
Good to know.
If we're talking about third sequels.
Yeah, right. A 2-star third sequel. I mean, good for the boys, right? That's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, in TV Guide's view, that's just as good as the original, which they also gave 2 stars.
That's so good.
And Meet Joe Black. So that's where are we? Wednesday night?
Yeah, that was Wednesday night. Yeah.
What am I doing Wednesday? So the Sentinel is on. I saw something Halloween-y that looked good before I went and looked at the movies. There's a New York Friars Club roast of Jerry Stiller.
Oh, that was probably
which is probably great. Jason Alexander hosted it. This was when it was still the Friars before it got like really hateful roast battle stuff. So it was still kind of a fun novelty before it got like just too cringy for me to watch. So I'm probably definitely going to watch that. Probably definitely. The show Two Guys and a Girl, formerly known as Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, starring Ryan Reynolds, has a Halloween episode that night. And the description's really strange. It says, a mad scientist switches the gang's brains after they decide to take over his secret laboratory for their Halloween haunted house. I'm like, is this a dream sequence episode? Because this show generally did not have that kind of plot.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. That was probably an entertaining episode.
Yeah, I feel the need to watch that. And then there's a show on Comedy Central that I totally forgot existed. And it was a talk show with Michael McKean, who's the best. And it was like a one-on-one talk show where you just have one guest for the whole half hour. And it was called Uncomfortably Close with Michael McKean. And this particular episode is Jason Alexander. I bet that's a good chat. Like, I'm actually kind of curious to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. I think I remember that show. I think I never tuned in, but yeah, the name sounds familiar, at least that show anyways.
There's also a phenomenon I completely forgot about. There was a guy who made a little bit of fame for himself in the late 90s on the Playboy channel, and he was called the Helmet Cam Guy. And he had
think I remember that.
a football helmet that had a camera on it. And for whatever reason, this was like the Girls Gone Wild era. He had his own show on the Playboy channel. And he would pop up on things that's like, and the helmet cam guy, he'd be like on Howard Stern, but he would also be like, special guest, it's the helmet cam guy.
Here he comes with his helmet. That's so funny.
I don't know if it's better or worse for him that most people, don't really remember him, but no one knows his actual name. So I feel like that guy could be, it's like he's in the witness protection program now. Like no one has to know he was the helmet cam guy.
Except probably every now and then some guy's like, wait a second, I think I remembered you from something. He's like, oh no.
I just picture his kids like clearing out the garage being like, Dad, what's this?
That is so funny.
Well, I used to be the helmet
put
cam
that
guy.
back. That's so
And
good.
what did you do?
I just lost a lot of respect.
Well, there was a lot of girls showing their boobs, but like it was a novelty because I had a camera I didn't use my hands for.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
People loved it. All right. But I had, until this very second, seeing that listed, I completely forgot that man existed.
That's so
He probably did too. Thursday night, what are you doing?
Thursday, I kind of broke it up again. My parents, or at least my mom, she's a big fan of Friends. So I think I'm going to watch that from 8 to 8:30. That was another one of those things where like I didn't really get any of the jokes, as a kid, but like I would just kind of just like hang out there and just maybe laugh at something every now and then.
Or like
just to like try to
after your mom laughs at something, go, oh, I'm supposed to laugh at that.
Yeah, right. And then also the laugh track kind of helped with that. They kind of like cued me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now I got to laugh. And then so that's 8 to 8:30. And then from 8:30 to 9, I spotted Whose Line? Whose Line Is it Anyways? I could see actually like my dad turning it over to that and watching that a little bit. I was I want to say a big fan of that show, but I tuned in every now and then. And then from 9 to 10, I'm going to watch the first hour of Something About Mary. I'm going to watch that. That was a movie that I think I saw like at a pretty young age-ish anyways. And everyone thought it was like the funniest thing ever. I probably didn't understand a whole lot of the jokes. Obviously, watching it again, I'm like, oh, this movie is hilarious. And of course, I didn't understand, this scene, that scene, or whatever. But it's something I would definitely probably try to dive into, and just to tell my friends, like brag to them, like, I saw Something About Mary, that whole story.
I have it around somewhere, I whatever it is, but so in the late 90s when I was in college, I was doing movie reviews for a few different things, and so I would get like promotional items. And the promotional item I received for It's Something About Mary is Something About Mary hair gel.
Oh, yeah, the classic scene.
Which I still have somewhere around here. And it's a funny movie. I think it's still funny. It gave us just an assault of gross out comedies for years after that were all terrible. But the original one there is very good. I think we're doing on the 28th, so we're a couple nights out from Halloween. Fox is doing a rare thing, and I don't remember this at all, a new Halloween special. So a new animated Halloween special called The Night of the Headless Horseman. So I assume this is a Sleepy Hollow thing, but people weren't really trying to get new holiday specials out there because you kind of have, here are the specials everyone airs every year. So this one clearly did not make it into the annual tradition of anyone because I don't recall this at all. I don't remember it re-airing. I'm curious to see if it's any good because the ad kind of looks cool, looks like stop motion animation. But I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to check that out this year. Then we have the WB Radio Music Awards. For the first time ever, your number one songs and performers are chosen by your favorite DJs, which that doesn't sound exciting. For the first time ever, who gives like DJs are picking number ones? Why is that exciting?
Yeah, right. I mean, don't they already like choose music for us to listen to? Anyways?
It's like it's not like the People's Choice Awards. Like what for the first time ever, exactly the same thing as the radio.
The DJ, exactly right. It's like, I could have just tuned into the radio or whatever.
But what a 1999 lineup! We have live from Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay. Performers and presenters include Lou Bega, David Boreanaz, Garth Brooks, NSYNC, Sugar Ray, Bewitched, Tom Green, Kenny Chesney, Faith Hill, Julio Iglesias Jr., Joshua Jackson, Luscious Jackson, Jody Messina, 98 Degrees, Vitamin C, Kid Rock, Genuine, Christina Aguilera, and Smash Mouth.
Wow. That is a crew. There was a point in time where I thought it was fading, but then you ended with Smash Mouth. Like,
Yeah.
what a list.
Like, man, if something happened at Mandalay Bay that night, the whole world would have ended.
Oh my gosh, right? Those after parties. That was probably stuff where legends.
Man, 98 degrees and vitamin C. I love Luscious Jackson. They're like odd to be in that group of people. Very strange. But that is interesting as well. And then there's an episode of Chicago Hope that night that has a quarter-page ad, and the ad is like set up like a newspaper headline, and it says "Docs steal sperm from dead patient."
Oh, yikes!
That's gonna hook you with that one.
Yeah, that's gonna get me. All right, I guess I got to tune in to see how he got it, why he got it. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions there.
I'm also looking at the Night of the Headless Horseman thing, and it's computer animated. So computer animated 1999. This has to look like garbage.
Yeah.
And it stars the voices of Luke Perry, Tia Carrere, and William H. Macy.
Classic. What a career.
Very strange.
Luke Perry. I haven't heard that name in forever.
I always love around Halloween and Christmas when like the low rent UHF stations are airing whatever holiday content that they can find. So TV 50, which was like a New Hampshire UHF station, that's a Boston edition, is airing the 1-star movie from 1994, Seduced by Evil, a supernatural tale involving a magazine writer played by Suzanne Summers and the spirit of an evil sorcerer's lover.
Wow. 1 star, huh?
Yeah. Yep. It's better than Masseuse 3, but only half as good as Major League.
Oh, Masseuse 3. Maybe I got to watch that one too.
Well, you'll miss out not seeing the other two. And then American Graffiti's airing that night. That's a 4-star movie, according to TV Guide.
Okay.
I am going to watch this Sleepy Hollow thing because it's got to be the worst. The worst thing. And then there's an interesting thing in here on PBS, Y2K, the Winter of Our Disconnect. And it examines the Y2K predicament and assesses the chances of calamities resulting from it. You might have been too young to have absorbed that, but do you remember how everyone was freaking out?
I remember everyone freaking out. I remember like at that age, I was like, I think people need to chill out a little bit. But I guess that kind of was the conclusion. Like nothing really freaked out or anything like that. Nothing really like broke like they said it was.
My dad panicked. He was like, "Do you have a go bag?" You got
the classic.
I was like, I don't think I need a go bag for Y2K. And I remember that New Year's Eve of Y2K, I was at a show at the Middle East Club in Cambridge, seen this band Manor Astro Man, and the club was like in the basement. So for a second after the show, when I like came up to the ground level for a second, I was like, are there just going to be like crashed planes and fires everywhere? for a split second? There wasn't. But, I thought maybe it could be.
Yeah. Always that
Friday night, final night of the week.
Yeah, Friday night. So I'm kind of breaking it up again from 8 to 8:30. So Friday night, I was, I'd always be over at one of my buddies' place. His name's Tyler. Shout out Tyler. I was just hanging out.
Friday night with Tyler. We all did it.
Friday night with Tyler. Everyone knows that, right?
Fried tie.
From 8 to 8:30. Fried tie. Yeah, fried tie. Good old-fashioned fried tie. And he was a big fan of Boy Meets World. So I'd probably watch that with him from 8 to 8:30. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I mean, there was, some things I did like about that show. I was a big fan of Topanga.
Yeah, that was going to be
always
my guess.
Crush on her. Yeah, big fan of her. And then 8:30 to 9, we got Keenan and Kel. Always liked that show. I thought Kel was hilarious. I'm actually surprised Kel just got out of the sketch comedy game because he was always my guy. And from 9 to 9:30, I'm going back into the horror. So, I mean, this is the 29th. So I'm probably, at the time, I probably just got done with trick-or-treating. So honestly, 8 to 9, I was probably not watching TV. I was probably going out and getting candy. But from 9 to 10, that's, probably when I was, I got a big old sack of all sorts of candy.
Yeah, and it's a Friday night.
Friday night, I'm slamming down the Smarties, the Twix, the Snickers, all the above. And Halloween H2O's on.
Yep.
So I'm going to watch the final part of that, which was like only 30 minutes. And then, what, I'm going to act tough in front of my friends, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably be with them. I'm going to go 9:30 to 10, we're watching Child's Play.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's what I got going on. Yeah, I mean, same sort of thing with that. Like I would try to get into scary movies and stuff, but I could never really get into it. I think I was watching like just garbage scary movies
possible.
as a kid.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the thing. And like now, like as I'm gotten older, like the only time I'll really dive into like a horror movie is if I hear like good things about it. But I remember just as a kid sometimes like renting some of these like scary movies and just be like, this movie kind of sucks.
And you were right to think so. Yeah. But if you ever want to revisit, I could give you some suggestions. H2O always fascinated me because it's a terrible movie. But it also did that late 90s, early 2000s thing of having a completely nonsensical number in the sequel title. Like, so it was technically Halloween 7. And it's H2O for 20 years later. So the original's in 77. This one was in 97, I think, or 78 and 98. But like H2O doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's like, is this underwater?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here with this?
It's ridiculous, but they're like, H2O, yeah, it sounds cool. That's a thing. Makes no sense at all. I forgot that Freaks and Geeks had premiered in September.
Saw that. Yeah.
And so I loved that show. I watched it when it aired. I watched its demise in real time. And this is the Halloween episode, which is maybe my favorite episode of the whole, one season they did. And I'm definitely watching that at 8 because it's such a good, fun show. Then we have the show Providence is on. And I never watched this show, but they shot exteriors here in Boston for some of it. And in college, I was like a messenger for our local TV station. And when I was like running around grabbing tapes and stuff, I totally didn't pay attention to anything. And I completely walked through a whole crew right through a shot, like over dolly track, like right there. What the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh, yeah. And it was of that show. So that's, I always, it always makes me think of it there. And they're airing Little Man, which is not the movie. This is a show, an hour-long drama called Little Man. And it's on TV 68. And it says, as Halloween approaches, Laurie fills the kids' minds with tale of the Lantern Man, who has risen from the grave during a blue moon. And Joe is spooked by a mysterious stranger. I don't know what that show is. I don't know is it about a little person? I have no idea. But I'm curious. Yeah,
well, the name, it does definitely seem like it would go that route, but based off of that description, I'm like, where's his name?
What is this? And of course,
got to tune in to find out, I guess.
It's The Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is on at 8 o'clock. I still watch that every year. Yeah. It's amazing. The Charlie Brown Christmas, I think, just edges it out. And then all the other Peanut stuff is not good. But It's the Great Pumpkin is just required viewing every year. It's just fantastic. There's a bunch of sitcoms here that I don't recall at all, like Odd Man Out, and then the Jamie Foxx show. They're showing Earth Girls Are Easy. It's a very weird mix of things that they're putting on here.
Yeah, and then also I was looking at pay-per-view. I didn't realize that Doug had a movie.
Yes, yeah,
so that's another one I'm gonna have to check out. I liked Doug as a kid. I didn't realize that. Yeah, he hit the big screen.
Yeah, so this is when Doug kind of got bought by Disney. So they were airing a new series of Doug on Saturday mornings on ABC, which was called One Saturday Morning, I think, at this time. The other channels had kind of stopped doing Saturday morning cartoons, but ABC still did it. They had that show like Recess was one of them, Doug.
I remember that one.
And so they bankrolled this big Doug movie, and it didn't really do anything. But this was around the same time as we got the Rugrats movie. There was a bunch of these cartoons had movies. I like Doug. I kind of fell off after the second season, but I'm curious to see if that movie's any good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a go. I think I had a tough go around with like I can't. Maybe it was the Rugrats movie. I think the first Rugrats movie I saw, I was like, "This isn't good," and I was like, "I'm not gonna do this again."
Burn me once, Nicktoons.
Exactly.
Shame on
I'm
you.
not happening again.
So let's see, Bobby. As you know, TV Guide is not just informative; it has opinions. So I'd like to read you the cheers and jeers of this week, Halloween week, 1999, and we'll see if we agree or disagree with what TV Guide has a problem with this week. So let's find it here. Here we go. So it's a pretty negative week. We got 3 jeers and 1 cheer. I'll save the cheer for last so we can end on a high note here.
Love
I
that.
also love that it's on the second page is an ad for Hunt's Snack Pack Vanilla Pudding. Which is just, and I don't like this tagline. Tastes like somebody loves you.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of strange.
It's like this psychotic looking girl licking the lid of a pudding cup, staring right into your soul, and it says tastes like somebody loves you. And I'm like,
Yeah, terrifying.
no. Okay, cheers to getting your signals crossed. As New York Mets pitcher Al Leitner faced Cincinnati Reds slugger Greg Vaughn during the one-game playoff on October 4th on ESPN, announcer Joe Morgan asserted that Leitner staked to a 2-run lead, could afford to get aggressive with Vaughn. 3 pitches later, Morgan observed, quote, Leitner is pitching very carefully to Vaughn, and he should be. Huh? Which is it, Joe? One night later, Morgan, working the microphone for NBC, opined throughout the first game of the Yankees-Rangers series that neither pitcher was taking control of the contest. Right? Yankees starter Orlando Hernandez was only shutting out the Major League's best-hitting team, allowing 2 hits over 8 innings, one of them a broken bat bloop signaled by Ivan Rodriguez. El Duque looked as if he had his hands firmly on the tiller to us, Joe. I don't understand a word of that, Jeer.
That is so funny because these names are just taking me back to my late 90s. Al Leiter was one of my guys. I was a big fan of him. And now his kids both play in the majors. One's a pitcher. I think one's like a shortstop or whatever. And like Greg Vaughn, Ivan Rodriguez was my guy, one of my favorite baseball players growing up. And this is really funny because I'm one of those guys that I do nitpick, like color commentators or whatever commentator is calling the game. I'll nitpick the crap out of them. And what I'll do is I'll vent to one of my buddies. Like, for instance, I watch a lot of hockey, and I think ESPN does a terrible job like calling the game, and they're like analysis guys I'm not a fan of. And I'll like vent to my buddy about it the next day when I see him at work. And then there's usually like when I'm halfway or 3/4 through for my rant, I look at him and I realize like he's like looking at me like this guy needs to chill out. And then in my head I go, you got to chill out. And then I like regret everything that I just said. I couldn't imagine like publishing something like that.
Yeah, right.
Rereading it and putting it out there to the world. So it's like this guy needs to chill the fuck out.
And the great thing about Cheers and Jeers is no one signs it. So it's like an anonymous thing they're writing TV guys. So yeah, some guy went on this weird rant. I'm like, okay, you don't like the calls? I don't really get what, okay. It's very weird.
Yeah, he's not a fan of the commentary. And you know what? One of the funny thing here is I'd probably do something like this. I'm serious. And then I would get like halfway through it. I'm like, you need to chill out,
no.
Bobby. Like, what are you doing?
You need to check
know what
yourself.
I mean?
I'm not going to publish this in a million print magazine.
Yeah, right. So that's hilarious. This guy, yeah, he sounds like me, but I don't know if I'd hit send. I'd probably reread it and go, chill out, Bobby.
Do you remember, I think it was ESPN, and it was, I think it was like a NASCAR race, the guy who got super racist and had to quit? Because there was racing, and the guy goes, it was like one of the guys' last name was Martinez, one of the racers, and one of the announcers is like, "Where's Martinez?" And the other guy goes, "He's out having a taco." And then they came out from commercial, and he had to be like, "Very sorry about saying Martinez was eating a taco."
That's so funny because it's like not even that funny.
No.
You know what I mean? It's
Like
just
you
like,
risked
the
your
guy's
career
like,
for
I'm
that. And I get that you're like basically improving, so like, you know, who knows what's going to happen, but like having a taco.
Yeah, right. But maybe sometimes play it a little safe, I guess.
The guy was expecting a huge laugh too, because the other guy's like, well, I'm not sure about that.
Like, oh, no.
Oh. Do you go back and watch old games ever?
You know what? No. There's a couple times where like at work, what we would do is we would throw on like these old school games and just like put them on mute, and it's pretty crazy to see how like every sport, how much it's changed. But I do remember one time I was watching the game and I was with the commentary on. I think it was just like white noise in the background, and like the commentary has changed so much where it's like I feel like back then everyone was so articulate, almost to the point like it just sounds fake and they're playing a character. Not saying that they are, but that was one observation that I had in regards to.
Yeah, I mean, they were usually writers, and I think just people were more well-spoken at that time anyway.
Yeah.
Or, you know, old school radio guys. But I'm always curious about that for sports fans, because I know that, you know, not being one, but like, you know, you have your comfort shows or stuff you go back and watch, and I'm like, oh, I was wondering if there's like, I always go back and watch this one game because it's like, oh, but no one ever does.
Yeah, very rarely. that's for sure.
Then we get another jeer. It says, speaking of baseball, jeers to bats in the belfry. On the season opening episode of ER, Dr. Green went to a batting cage after work. You would think a trauma expert would know better than to step in front of a mechanical pitching machine, which tends to be erratic at best, without wearing a helmet. And by the way, Dr. Green, the reason you're hitting all those weak pop-ups is that you're lunging at each pitch. You generate more power if you stop stepping into the bucket. No charge for that advice.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
That's an insane rant.
The insane rant, and I love it's back-to-back baseball. Big fan of baseball. Played it as a kid, high school, all that. And you know what? I think this guy. So this guy is definitely he played ball in his day, just based off of the term hitting those pop-ups. You generate more power.
Stop stepping in the bucket.
That's like a saying, and he was probably upset that like this actor probably like looked unathletic. You know,
it's ER. He's at a batting cage.
Exactly, and it's like for me, it's like there are some times where it's like I'll get taken out of a movie or a show because I'll be like, oh, this guy's never played golf before, and you can just immediately tell. Some actors are really good at it. Like you can see like, oh, this guy probably played a little ball in his day. It's usually a quick little blip that'll pop up on my radar, and I'll go, okay. But this guy, I don't know what was going on with him that day, but the fact that he ranted about this and hit send again, man, or sent this letter in,
ER, and he's like, get out of the bucket, man. It's like it's ER. It's not the point of this.
Stay on the back foot, see the ball, and drive it to right.
I mean,
man.
I'll go to a batting cage or like a driving range or something, and I don't even like that's nuts. This is nuts. Oh, as a golf guy, you might appreciate this. You know what I have? I think it's Arnold Palmer. They made this novelty putter that has a little tiny him on the bottom that putts. Have you ever seen these?
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, actually, I have one.
I got one downstairs. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm a big Chi Rodriguez fan.
Oh, Chi-Chi, yeah, he's a legend, man. I mean, as far as music concerned, he's on the cover of that Devo album.
There's a great little documentary about Devo from like a couple of years ago where Devo goes and meets him and interviews him.
Cool.
And he goes, they're like, did you think it looked like you? And he goes, well, the hat looks like me.
Yeah.
And he keeps calling him Johnny for some reason. None of them are named Johnny. It's really weird. He's like, okay, Johnny.
Chi-Chi. Hey, what do you say, Johnny? Yeah, he's all time. He's one of the best dressed. He's.
I got a really cool Chi Rodriguez shirt that I wear often. Like cool. A vintage one. Our final jeer. Jeers to mixing up your monsters. A current commercial for the Korean carmaker Kia shows a cinematic behemoth trampling on a scale model city and ends with the tag, Kia, the only thing the Japanese are more afraid of. Well, the citizens of Tokyo can breathe easy. As an alert viewer points out, the monster in question is Gorgo, the titular terror of her 1961 British film. The city she's crushing underfoot is London.
Yeah, this is just a super fan, and I respect it. I respect it because I do shit like this all the time. I'll pinpoint something. I'm like, this is wrong. This is X, Y, and Z is incorrect here. Now, like I've been saying, will I write a letter out? Will I send it? Will I buy the stamp? Probably not. Halfway through, I'll be like, chill out. But I kind of do respect people like this that can point out flaws in a movie. Yeah. I think that's kind of cool. To be honest
I would notice that it was Gorgo and not Godzilla, but this is like a tool. Actually, this is like someone. This is like a Twitter response. Actually.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of do respect those actually guys, like the Reddit vibe. Yeah. Like I do dig that. I think it's kind of cool, to be honest.
I wonder why it was Gorgo. I mean, I imagine Gorgo was cheaper to get, so that's probably why it was. But and our only cheers to a sensational comedy sketch. Jerry Seinfeld did a terrific job hosting the season's first installment of Saturday Night Live on October 2nd. Read from the opening monologue, a confession that his life these days consists primarily of sitting around in his pajamas watching endless reruns of Wings and The Equalizer. Later in the show, Jerry participated in one of the funniest skits in I hate the word skits, I have to say, in SNL's long history. The premise was that Jerry, who, as you may recall was convicted of violating the Good Samaritan law in the final episode of Seinfeld, was serving time in the maximum brutality ward of Oz. The sketch using the cast and set of the visceral HBO drama recast routines from such droll Seinfeld episodes as The Contest and The Postponement in the sadistic hellhole that is Oz. The result was an absolute prison riot.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
I just imagine that's all like gay sexual assault jokes. 1999, like it's just going to be all dropping soap in the shower jokes for 10 minutes.
Yeah, the old drop the soap, which was an easy laugh back in the day.
Because this is post Seinfeld's over, so he's all like, the show's not on anymore. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then also too, it's like, I mean, there was a point in time when I did like SNL. Not as much as I used to. No disrespect to anyone that's on that show, but you know, it's some of this stuff, like some of this like old school comedy that was really popular. I'd love to look back on it and just be like, man, that wasn't that funny.
Well,
you know?
Comedy doesn't age well generally, like most comedy, because it's so of itself. The thing that makes it funny and contemporary makes it totally not age well.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see that. I mean, you're so right, because it's like it's cool to kind of see like some comedy that aged really well, and you're like, wow, like the fact this is, because I mean, I got stuff that I did way back when, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. I'm like, God, this is awful. Like, how did anyone think this was funny? Like, probably because no one did. I don't know, but I think it's always fun to look back on some of this stuff and just be like, you know, it really wasn't that funny. And then everyone else probably would be like, yeah, that wasn't that. But at the time, you know, it's always a
appropriate
strange
for the time.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, hey, maybe it is good. Maybe I'll have to give it a go.
But I mean, I mentioned him often on the show. Bob and Ray are like two of the funniest guys. Chris Elliott's dad and his comedy partner, who'd been doing stuff since the 50s. Their stuff is so alty and hilarious and weird, and it's completely timeless. And I'm like, okay, so it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, based off of all the comedy that I've watched and stuff like that. Like Norm Macdonald, like he's an example. Like you look back at some of his stuff, you're like, man, his stuff kind of aged pretty well for the most part.
And stuff that's not like a topical pop culture reference tends to do pretty well. Like even the show Oz, like this is 99. So HBO, I think it just started The Sopranos, but like and Sex and the City, but HBO was not that well known. That like golden age of television thing hadn't happened yet. So Oz was like their big hit, but even like quote unquote big hit at that time was still kind of a niche show. So Oz was like a big phenomenon for like a year, and no one really remembers or talks about Oz now. So it's kind of like, you're like, what is this parroting?
Yeah, it could have been one of those situations where the guy's like a big fan of Oz, right? And then like he's able to pick up on some of that subtle humor and stuff, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I get this.
Yeah, any show set in a prison doesn't seem very interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of other shows. The Prison Break, that was pretty popular for a little bit. I never really watched that.
Fox had a show called Women in Prison. The first year Fox was on. It was a sitcom.
One in Prison. That's kind of like what was it, that one
Orange
show?
is the New
Orange
Black,
is the New Black, which I kind of like that show. I thought it was pretty good.
I will say, if you like action movies, The Raid 2, the first Raid's very good, but The Raid 2 might be the greatest action movie of all time. And there is a prison riot scene in that movie that is like jaw-droppingly, unbelievably amazing.
Yeah?
It's just this incredible action set piece that's like, I've never seen anything like it before or since. It's unbelievable.
I'm sold, man. I gotta watch that
movie.
I got Major League 2.
Even if you just watch that scene, like there are people who've done like whole hour-long, like frame by frames of this scene. It's unbelievable, and these guys are like insanely good martial artists, and like the core. It's craziness.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I'm definitely going to check that out.
The Raid 2. Very, very good. Well, this was very fun. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thanks for having me on. I mean, I feel like, this was a dip in the past. This was great. Awesome time.
There you go. That could be the moves, Bobby Dolan. So check out his show. Thank you for checking out my show. If you want to leave a review, I know I haven't asked for those in a while. If you want to leave a review wherever you're listening to this show, that would be a help. It's always good to get new listeners, even, what are we, 13 years in, 12 years in? I don't know. I'm so old. But I'll be here next week, so I hope you will too, for a brand new edition of TV Guidance Counselor. It's like a Playboy video with a girl sitting on a car touching herself, only it's a guy version.